What's happening, everybody? Willie here at the Great Outdoors. Feeling pretty rough, not gonna lie. I'm feeling about as good as somebody can with a double ear infection that's taking medication that's making them feel worse than the actual problem I'm taking it for. As you can see, my voice is pretty much gone. The old inner ear infection can really take you off your feet. It puts you in a chair or on a couch or in a bed because you end up dizzy, nauseous, you name it. It does all that. Went to the old urgent care yesterday. I've been fighting this for a better part of 3 weeks now, hoping it would just go away. But you know, sometimes, bad things don't go away and good things go away too fast. So I'm dealing with this, taking medication. It's Monday morning and couldn't go to work because being dizzy, well, the company kind of frowns upon you being behind the wheel of an automobile when your head is spinning around. I can't say that I blame them. I don't like sitting here. This is a whole big case of show must go on. Anyway, what we're going to do today, out of that box of reels that Gary sent me, even though the original conversation that Gary and I had was about this thing here that I'm going to turn into a bicycle bell. Doesn't have a very good tone. The original conversation started off with this Model 40 because the gentleman called, texted me, emailed me, or I think he sent a comment about the Model 40, which I hope I answered that question, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is not a reel for me. I think I will try to use it at some point. I don't like the button being on the right for me to be able to cast left-handed. It would be hold the string, let go of the string, flip the thing and throw the, and then, it's not me. I'll try it though. For those of you who actually want to see this thing fished, let me know in the comments. I will catch a fish or two with it, and we'll call it that. Then it's probably going to go up there on the shelf somewhere and go away from here. But I did let Gary know that anything he had that was a Model 80, let me know. I'm telling you, the Model 80 is the best. We're not going that route anymore. Let's get off of that. The next one was actually what we had talked about. This was really because of Andy more than it was anything. Andy said something about me getting a guide. And we have one here. And I intend to look into that when I don't feel quite as bad, because there is a lot of stuff inside that reel right there. A lot. And then you got your, your AccuCast. I don't know what this reel compares to. I don't know that it compares to anything. It might be the only one that's made this way, other than the AccuCast thing. But what really got the blood flowing, and it's still doing it right now, as a matter of fact, is this Laker, Johnson Laker 140. Now, the Laker models were really your economical series. I even have heard tell that it was designed so Junior or the daughter or whoever could have a reel like Dad's. Now, I got that information from Mr. Harry Howard, and I was looking into that, and I think that's very true. Harry was telling me about it, and it's very cool that Johnson looked into the fact that they wanted something that looked like Dad's reel, but was a little scaled down and a little less expensive, so the children could have a reel like Dad's. This is actually an advertisement for a couple of reels, one of which is the Laker model. Let me go to the Laker here real quick. I'll read it to you. All right, the Laker 140 has a 3-to-1 gear ratio, flash hardened permalloy, or it's perm alloy, or it's per Mallory, or positive multiple point pickup, which means it's the sawtooth style. Anodized aluminum cover, Implex gear case, plastic, Zammark alloy case, aluminum body, positive silent reverse, full drag adjustment with automatic drag click, stainless steel shafts equipped with approximately 250 feet of 10-pound Deluxe monofilament. All parts saltwater resistant. Well, I'll be. Now, this is the 140. Now, as you know, Johnson had a thing for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, Y. Usually they only stopped at B. Now, a couple of them did go up to C. I believe this is one of the ones that may have went up to C. You got 140A, 140B, 140C. Dan was telling me that his favorite was the B, 140B, so I'll be looking at some point to try to find me a 140B. But I think what it would be a good idea, this one's in great shape. I'm probably not going to do a complete teardown on this thing because it's just in such good shape. What you have to remember about a lot of these reels, especially when you get up into the ones that are a little bit more obscure and harder to find, you go tearing these things down, they're very old. They've been sitting for a long time, and sometimes you get into parts that break. And I honestly do not want to break this reel. But we will take it down, take it apart, take a good look on the inside, see how far down we can get it without feeling like if something may, go out on me or whatever. I'm sure Gary probably has the parts to replace it, but this one looks incredible. But let's tear this thing down and see what Junior's reel would have looked like. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to use it, Junior or not. It's going out there. So for those of you who are going, man, put that little kid's reel down. Go get you a real one. It's real. I can feel it. Anyway, let's take a look at this thing. Let's get down to the table and bust this guy open. Hopefully we don't bust it open. We'll just take it apart. That'd be a good idea. Well, we got some line in there with a washer on it. This is a Gary signature washer right here. This is how Gary, if you get online, eBay, and you want to buy some of these things, chances are if you see that right there, there's my bell. You see that washer right there on one of the reels that you're looking at on eBay, there's a very, 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 very good possibility that you're looking at one that Gary is selling. Okay, it does thread on. There you go, there's your sawtooth. I really wish I could, I'm gonna try to do this without taking all that part. Then of course, it needs to, if I could only, if someone would just, this is that whole I don't want to break it thing I was talking about. Well, I didn't like doing that, I'll be honest with you. Well, I'm kind of glad we did though. Got some old funky grease in there that we're going to get out. Now I'm seeing one thing right dead off the bat that I don't care for. This has that little, it's a piece of wire really is all it is that's bent around the end of the shaft, the drive shaft. And you have to unbend that to get it off there, it looks like. And then you have to bend it back around it again. And I really don't like those. You have an adjustment screw. That is a plastic adjustment screw for your drag right there. So you adjust that screw right there, tension-wise, to how much drag you want. It pushes on that rod that goes up here, which we're going to get inside of here real quick, and I'm going to show you. Flathead. Hey, flathead. All right, in there you have your little clicker. There we go. You got your little plastic ring up here that helps the line come off and get past the teeth on the sawtooth there. Now you see you actually have some drag bushings here, or drag shoes as they say. Hey, shaft just falls right out, just in case you're wondering about that. That's pretty nifty. Made it easy, that's for sure. Now I'll be able to, thing moves really easy, but I'm gonna clean that old grease out of there. But let's get back to over here again. These obviously slide right off the shaft the same way, the housing anyway, excuse me, the same way that you would a Citation or a Century. That's pretty cool. So what you have is basically the same little hole down there where your drag is hiding. So, but on this, you use this dial. You have an adjuster for how quickly you want that to, how quickly you want your drag to engage, as opposed to on the front of the case for a Century or a Citation, pull, lift, tighten the screw, you know what I'm saying? Then you have your anti-reverse clicker there, which you have 3 spots here where it catches sometimes. There it goes. But all of this is moving really well. But I will be getting that grease out of there. But all in all, you got your little hourglass handle for your crank arm. I would say I wouldn't have a problem using this thing. Got your clicker in the bottom, your brass clicker, the same as you would like a Century or Citation. I like this. I'm going to clean that grease out real quick and clean the grease. Probably take that to the kitchen and clean the grease out of that. But I'm just going to wipe the grease out of these gears right here real fast, and we'll get right back to you. So sometimes when you least expect it, you learn something. And I can tell you right now, in my life, I think I have learned more not paying attention than I did ever actually listening to what anybody was saying. What I mean by that is, I talked some time back about the different gearings that you would find. Well, I guess what they're made of or how they're made, more so than teeth or anything like that. But when I cleaned this one up and got all the goo out of the gears there and cleaned up the pinion shaft and gear here, I've often talked about the open gearing on some of these reels. Well, you're looking at one right there. Open on both ends, no flat washer side. And I talked about the off-color gear, crank gear. Some are kind of a bronzy color and some are like a darker gray, like this one. Well, this is that gearing I'm talking about. And I have found these, sometimes I have found these in Centuries. I have yet to find one in a Citation, but I have found them in Centuries. And I'm just wondering now if this later on down the line was what they replaced. Say if you called up to the Johnson Company and said, hey, I've got a 100B Century and the gears wore out and I need a crank gear and a pinion gear. I wonder if this is what they would have sent you. Because these are the ones I really like. I think they're really strong. And I wonder if these are the ones that they're talking about are saltwater oriented to kind of keep that rust thing from happening. But that's a very cool find right there. So pay attention, people, to this particular video if you're wanting to know some things. I don't know this for sure, but I did send a text to Gary and showed him the two pictures of these. And maybe I'll get something back from him and he'll say, hey, there's something that we might look into. Anyway, let's put this thing back together. I mean, look at that. That's a reel there that doesn't look like it's ever been used to me. Very cool. Let's get this thing put back together here. And my cat is knocking on the door going, I want in, and I'm saying no. Sorry. Doing the thing. This is a very gratifying spot to be in right here, this doing the thing part. Even though I feel terrible, this right here makes me feel a lot better. Doing the thing. Wiping off all the grease and the fingerprints and the funk and all that. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Laker 140. The first of the Laker series. I really like this. I mean, even though I'm not a huge fan of the sawtooth, I just have a thing for believing that, you know, there's a reason that I've always called it a sawtooth, because you get a good sized fish pulling on that thing, and if those teeth around that thing aren't, if they aren't milled down or filed down or rounded well enough from the factory, you can get some sharp edges on that stuff, and it can probably, can't say that it's probably ever happened, I don't know, and maybe it has. On cheaper reels, it cuts a line. So that's why I've always preferred a pickup pin or retrieval pin, whatever you may call it, because it's rounded. It's always rounded. And even Shakespeare used to put the round sleeve around it so it would roll as the line came in. But these sawtooth style, you know, they're not for catching big fish. They were for catching panfish and crappie and, you know, small trout and things like that. So, you know, but here you go. They say it's not your daddy's fishing reel, but, you know, I'm a daddy and I have one. And to be quite honest with you, had I bought my kids one of these, I probably would have used it more than they did. I'm very pleased with this reel. This is a game changer in my book for Johnson. Very few things to go wrong. Very well thought out. And according to Dan, the B model, the 140B, was the best one. So I'm very curious now. I'm very curious. Gary, do you have a 140B? And how much is it? Because I would love to know what the difference is now. Because I don't know, how do you make this any better? I mean, the only thing I can see that would make this any better is a little bit larger button. Seriously, that's all I can see. It had great gearing. Drag system seemed to be okay. It was proficient. I mean, I'm seeing, that works really well. Yeah, that works great. I don't see a problem with this. Anyway, really, Markin, this is going to go in my list of reels that we've done here recently, and I'm going to put that out there to go sooner than some others. That's right, it's going to jump in line. I'm afraid that's just how it's going to be. I'm the one that runs this theme park, and I'm telling you right now, it's going in front of a few others. If you don't like the theme park, don't visit. Go somewhere else. Go to Busch Gardens. Go to Disney World. But right now you're in Willie's World, and Willie's World said this one's going to the front of the line, and it's going to get a chance to, come in while the place is closed and ride the ride all by itself as many times as it wants. I like this thing. Like it quite a bit. You better be as good inside, because if you're not, you're going to the back of the line. No ride for you, even if you do have AccuCast. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Whatever the next one may be. I don't know why I even said that. We know what the next one's going to probably be, this one. Maybe. You don't really know around here. Seriously, you don't. Anything could happen. I could, get tires for the monkey or whatever. I could do something different. Ride a bicycle, paratrooping, go to a shoelace factory and show you how to make shoelaces and figure out what that plastic thing is on the end of shoelaces. I know that has a word or name or something.